Well, hi everyone, I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, and this is a different angle. Yes, I've been gone for a few days, but we're back on the kitchen counter, and today's video is going to be very different. You asked for it, and I'm going to give it to you. You want to see how I wrap stuff, so I'm going to actually just wrap a couple of things. Look, this is just what works for me. It's just the way I do it. There's so many different ways you can wrap, but I'll just give you some tips on how I do it. I have been mailing about, oh my goodness, maybe close to 100 packages a month for the last several years. Occasionally things do get broken. I mean, listen, you can wrap stuff in a carton of steel, and if it gets kicked around, it's going to break. But there are some tricks, and I'm going to show you those tricks, hopefully today. Now, I'm not going to get into, well, we're going to talk later, but yes, I was on vacation. I told you I was going to take you with me. Well, I did take you with me, but I didn't really film anything. Not much anyway. But as I said, I'll tell you about that later because I have thrift hauls for you. And I've got to get listing because the shelves in the Old Curiosity Shop are depleted. Okay, so anyway, while I'm working, the windows are open, dogs are barking, they're working on the construction across the street, they're working on the construction on the roof, and the best of Dick Hames is playing on my little Vase machine right back here on top of the microwave, so you're liable to hear all kinds of things. I'm going to actually turn the camera down so you can see what I'm doing on the counter, but it's nice to see you all, y'all. Now you have a hint what part of the country I was in, y'all. Just for a little while. Okay, now let's see how I wrap and ship. Okay, since I do a lot of my packing right here on this granite countertop, the first thing I do is make sure that I put something down that is soft. This is one of those things you put in the bathtub, but don't worry, I don't use this in my bathtub. I only use it here when I'm doing my packing. You know, it's smushy, so if I drop something on here, it's probably not going to break. The second thing I do is on top of that, I put a nice clean towel. So I've just done that. All right, I've got a nice soft spot here on which to work. And of course, I have my tape is all ready, the scissors are all ready. What you can't see are the rest of the packing materials I have around here, but I'm going to show you that. Let's decide what we're going to, let's do this. Let's wrap this beautiful Vase, and I appreciate my friends from England who helped me with the pronunciation. The W is silent. This beautiful Vase pottery here, which just sold, and it is an absolutely lovely piece of pottery. I don't want it to get broken. Okay, let's measure it. And I have a ruler, and I have, you know, one of these guys, a little adjustable tape measure. Okay, so we've got a pot that's about 8 inches here in at the fattest width of it. The diameter of the fattest part, okay, is about 8 inches. So I'm going to want a few inches cushion around the whole thing. But this is pottery, and it won't really take a whole lot to break this. So I'm actually going to double box it. So let's go and see what size box we need. Now let's chat about boxes for just a second. Yes, of course, if you're going to ship priority mail, I think everybody knows you can get free boxes from the United States Post Office. And they come in various sizes. This is not a flat rate. I determine the rate based on where you live. These are okay sometimes. The priority mail boxes are flimsy. I don't have any other way to say it than that. These are not strong boxes, okay? There's no way I'm going to ship this art pottery in one of these priority mail boxes. So even though those are free, I also order heavy-duty boxes, as we see, and that's what this is here. I guess you call that corrugated. I'm not sure. But this is a much, much stronger quality box that I feel much safer with. And this is a 12 by 12 by 12, which is actually going to be perfect for this vase. Now, some people may say, well, it's 8 inches in diameter, just put it down in a 10 by 10 by 10. If I did that, I would have 2 inches all around. How tall is this bad boy? About 7 inches. Okay, a 10 by 10 by 10, yeah, you could get away with that, but it would make me nervous. Not enough space around this wonderful vase or pot, I don't think. So I'm much happier going with a 12 by 12 by 12. And as long as you stay 12 by 12 by 12 or under, you're not going to see a great difference in shipping. In other words, if I ship this in a 10 10 10, it would not be that much less expensive than shipping in a 12 12 12. But the minute you go over 1 cubic foot, bam! Ooh, that was my bad hand. Ah! The minute you go over 1 cubic foot, the price can go crazy. And believe me, everybody who is in Texas and you buy from me, I'm in Philly, or if you're in Chicago, if you're in California and you buy from me, you well know a 12 12 12 box could be $19. A 12 12 13 box could be $52. It is crazy. So postage is not so much based upon weight anymore like it used to be. It's the size of the box. Okay, blah, blah, blah. 12, 12, 12. I'm going to double box it. Let's go. Okay, what I just did was first I put plain, very thin brown parchment, or just brown paper, newsprint type paper, but not newspaper, around the pot, and then wrapped it twice in bubble wrap in 2 different directions as you saw, and then just put some tape on it. Okay, so we've got a nice little football here, ready to go down into the first box. Let's go get the first box. Now, it just so happens that I am out of 10 by 10 by 10 boxes. So what I'm going to do for this particular piece is use a 10 by 8 by 6. Again, these are the heavy boxes that I purchased myself. And I've taped up the bottom. And you're going to watch this and say, oh my gosh, you're crazy. Well, what I'm going to do, this vase is going to go down in here. Okay, and it's going to fit very snugly. Now, believe it or not, there are some people that would seal this up and ship it just like this. Tragedy. Okay, we're not going to do that. But this is going to be my inner box. You see, what I'm going to do now is put some stuffing around it to make sure this doesn't move around. Now notice, that vase is all cocooned in there nice and tight. It's not terribly tight, but you don't hear anything. Nothing's moving. You know, nothing's rolling around in there. And that's very important because we don't want this thing to be able to move at all. Now, it's up about 1/4 of an inch taller than these flaps would be, so I'm going to modify this since this is going to be my inner box. And, you know, don't be afraid to get yourself an X-Acto knife and a ruler and modify the boxes yourself. What I'm going to do is, and I don't tend to be very picky about it, so I'm going to take this knife and just score the top just a little bit, about 2 inches down. You'll see.
Everyone doing today? I'm doing very well. Okay, now I scored it.
And then I can bend these back I think you get the idea. Wait a minute, something just popped on my... Ooh, did I just... Okay. Okay. Now that I've done that, I've just increased the height of this box just a little bit. Okay. And so now I'm actually going to be putting some more stuffing in here. But the first thing I'm going to do is tape the corners of this box. Now I know some of you are saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's going through all of this. Why didn't he just do this? Why didn't he just do that? Now the only reason I'm reconfiguring this box is because I'm out of 10 by 10 by 10s. Yeah. We wouldn't have to go through all this mess if the supervisor were still here. I would not have run out of 10 by 10 by 10 boxes, but that's why I did what I did. Okay, now I'm going to just stuff some more paper here on the top. Newspaper now is okay because the ink is not actually getting on the vase. That's all totally protected. And you can see here, when I fold the top down, that's sort of my new box. All right, that's pretty good. I'm going to put one more piece on there, just over the top. And I'm going to press this down. This feels very good. All right, it's firm. Nothing's moving in there. So we're going to get it taped up. Now let me talk to you about my tape. I don't buy it offline. I don't go to big box office supply stores. I have a man that supplies me with all the tape I can get for $1 a roll, and here they are. Cheap, cheap, cheap. I buy these at a flea market. There's a man that I know, and as I said, $1 per roll, so I do really well. I can be generous with tape because it's so cheap for me, and the tape is fine. There are some people that would wrap this in brown parchment shape paper and ship it just like that. No, 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 no. Broken vase. That's the inner package. Do I always double box everything? Well, not always, but this vase sold for close to $400. The person is excited to get it. I don't want it to be broken. I'm taking the extra step here to make sure this piece of pottery gets where it's supposed to be in good shape. All right, 12 by 12 by 12 box. Again, I'm using a nice big heavy expensive corrugated cardboard box. And I buy these in bulk. You saw me pick them up one time in my truck. And yes, I'm trying to anticipate what everybody's gonna say. Yeah, I know they have those things with the handle and you go zip, zip, zip. I don't like that thing. It doesn't work for me. This works for me, so I say use what works for you. I do not handle well that fancy tape gun. I don't know, maybe my intelligence level, it hasn't developed to the point where I'm able to use one properly. 12 by 12 by 12 box. My smaller box is going to go down inside. Now just so that you can see from where you are, this will be going down inside like this. Now I want you to notice I'm going to have about 1.5 inches on the bottom. I'm going to have about 1.5 inches on the top, about 2 inches on these two sides, and about 1 inch on these two sides. Okay, and remember, the vase has got plenty of room down inside there as well. So this ought to arrive very, very safely. Let's move this out of the way first. Now I'm going to talk about one more thing that I love to use when I ship. And I know that some of you make fun of me for this, and that's quite all right. I use grocery bags. Now, growing up here in the Northeast, we call these Acme bags. So you can see this did not come from the Acme. But that's our big grocery store here, the Acme, and my entire life I call these Acme bags. I have a man that I know who works at that particular store, and I buy these in bulk. it ends up being maybe about 5 cents per bag. So if you buy anything from me, you're not getting used grocery bags with, you know, chicken grease in it or chicken, you know, drippings in it or anything like that. They're clean bags. And what I normally do, pardon the noise, I just, you know, rip a bunch of them in half like that. Yes, you can go to the newspaper office near you and get those rolls. They used to give them away for free. I think now they charge you. Yes, you can go out and buy the brown parchment paper. Yes, you can. I prefer this because I ship a lot of pottery and glass. And when I crinkle up these grocery bags, there is a heftiness, there's a weight to this that other paper is just too flimsy. And so this is what I use, it's how I do it, and it's been successful for me. I have very few breakages. It happens, but it doesn't happen that often. So what I'm going to do then is speed things up and stuff some of this in the bottom. Now I want you to see and I want you to know that this is a firmly packed, you know when you cook and it says brown sugar firmly packed? Well, this is my brown sugar firmly packed. It's a nice cushion. I did not just, you know, take a piece of bag and just willy-nilly throw it in there. So nice and firmly packed on the bottom. Again, I've got it about 2 inches on the bottom. And where's my vase? Okay. Now, we're going to take this guy and place him down in. I'm only using these peanuts because I happen to have them, but I will illustrate a point when you're putting peanuts around something. Now notice, we look in there, I've dumped some peanuts in. Is that good enough? No. You want to take your box and not just jiggle it, okay, like I'm doing here. I'm recreating the effect of this box being on a United States Postal Service truck driving from here to California, or flying. And then the other thing you want to do is grab the box and stretch it a little bit. Watch this. I'm going to expand it and I'm going to shake it, and the peanuts go down farther. I'm going to turn it this way and I'm going to expand the box and I'm going to shake it, and the peanuts go down even farther. Okay? Well, that's going nowhere. Now, you can see, lots of room around the box. I'm going to finish it off by taking my paper and sort of twisting it, almost making paper ropes out of it. And I'll be shoving this down all around, my paper bags all around this inner box. Let's do that now. going to take the box and pull it up to, I have it up against my chest, and I'm going to pull it in so that all the flaps are nice and square and the box is nice and tight. And let me see if I can get this tape on here without it getting all twisted up. I love it when it does that. All right. Okay, there it is. Well packed and firmly shaken. Is that what it says? So, review. I did double box this. I don't always double box. But in this case I chose to do that. And remember, I had to reconfigure a box to get it to fit the way I wanted. Don't ever put newspaper print on pottery or glass. People don't like having to wash off ink from newspapers. And I used a variety of packing materials, but everything was clean and new. And so this is a 12 by 12 by 12 box. I am generous with the tape again because I get the tape so cheaply. It's so inexpensive for me to use the tape. I'm able to be really generous with tape. Now, nothing is moving. Listen, you shouldn't hear anything. You didn't hear anything, did you? Well, you might have heard that. Yeah, nothing in there is moving. And when I press on it, it's almost like, you know when you buy a salmon and it's supposed to be fresh, you press on it and it bounces right back? That's the way, if I press on this box and it's mushy, bad salmon, I'm pressing on this and it's bouncing back like a fresh piece of fish. That's ready. Now if this gets broken in the mail, anyway, that's just how I ship. There are a million ways to do it. And you've asked for such a video, so I was happy to do it. And now, since I've been on vacation, you can see everything over here that still has to be shipped. So I've got a lot of work to do. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with a thrift haul, some of the things that I bought while I was gone, and some more things for sale in the Old Curiosity Shop. Until then, thanks for watching. Wait for the cat. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop. So long for now.